You ever hear a story so unbelievable you'd swear it was ripped straight out of a Hollywood action movie? That's exactly what happened one lazy Saturday afternoon on my grandma's porch. Two men rolled up in black tactical gear pretending to be HOA cops, demanding she surrender over fake violations. But they didn't count on one thing: my brother Marcus. Within minutes, one of them was laid out cold, the other was flying headfirst through a living room window, and the whole neighborhood watched it happen. It was one of those days that didn't feel like trouble could exist. The sun hung heavy in a bright blue sky, painting every blade of grass in gold. My grandma, Nell, sat on her porch rocking chair like she always did, sipping sweet tea with lemon. She wasn't just my grandmother, she was the heartbeat of our neighborhood. Raised 5 kids on her own, planted rose bushes that bloomed like fire every spring, and carried a reputation that made even the rowdiest teens put their music down a notch when passing her fence. I was out front repainting the old white picket fence with 2 of my cousins, laughing about nothing important. The air smelled like cut grass, and the only sounds were birds and the rhythmic creak of Grandma's rocking chair. The last thing any of us expected was war. That's when it came. A big black SUV crawled down our street like it owned the asphalt. No front license plate, windows tinted darker than midnight. It didn't belong. Everyone on our street drove trucks, minivans, or sedans. Nothing this sleek, this predatory. The SUV rolled to a stop in front of Grandma's porch. Doors swung open. 2 men stepped out. Both wore dark tactical gear, black boots, black pants, vests with Velcro patches. Their badges glinted in the sunlight, but they didn't look right. Too dull, too plastic. One man had mirrored shades and carried a clipboard like some kind of authority figure. The other had a stun baton clipped to his belt, tapping against his thigh as he walked. On their chests, the patches read, HOA Enforcement Division. I almost laughed. HOA cops? In a neighborhood that didn't even have a homeowners association? But the way they moved, that wasn't funny. They didn't greet us. They didn't smile. They walked straight up to Grandma's porch. Ma'am, you're in violation of several HOA codes. You'll need to come with us to resolve this. I froze, paintbrush still dripping white on the grass. My cousin muttered, HOA codes for what? Too many roses? Grandma tilted her head, calm but firm. Son, I've lived here 40 years. We don't even have an HOA. The second man stepped closer, baton in hand, tapping against his thigh. Your flowers, your mailbox, those wind chimes, even those gnomes, non-compliant. We issued warnings, you ignored them, now we enforce removal. My stomach dropped. This wasn't a prank. These weren't real cops, but they were serious. Then I saw Marcus. My brother Marcus was taller than most men, built like the Marine he once was, calm under pressure, dangerous when cornered. He put his paintbrush down slow, wiped his hands on a rag, and walked toward the porch. His eyes were locked, his jaw like steel. You got 10 seconds to tell me who the hell you are before this goes bad for you, Marcus said. The man with the shades smirked. We're authorized. Step aside. And then he shoved Grandma's rocking chair. The wood groaned, her sweet tea spilled, and for the first time, I saw fear flicker in her eyes. That was it. Marcus didn't hesitate. The baton man swung for Marcus's ribs, but Marcus caught his wrist midair, twisted hard, and that guy howled. The baton clattered onto the porch. Before the man could blink, Marcus drove a fist into his jaw. One clean strike. The man crumpled against the railing, groaning, clutching his face. The one with the shades lunged, trying to shove Marcus off the steps. Wrong move. Marcus grabbed his collar, pivoted, and with a roar, heaved him straight through the living room window. Glass exploded into the air, curtains tearing, shards raining onto the floor inside. The whole neighborhood watched it happen. Kids dropped their bikes, parents gasped, the street went silent except for the groaning of one man on the porch and the other writhing in broken glass inside the house. Grandma never screamed. She just gripped a teacup and muttered, "That's my boy." You step foot on his property again and you won't be leaving on 2 legs, Marcus growled over the man crawling away. Then came the sound that shifted everything. Sirens. Blue and red lights flickered at the end of the street. 2 squad cars screeched to a halt, officers jumping out with hands on their hostess. For a second, I panicked. Would they think Marcus was the aggressor? But Grandma's voice, strong despite her trembling, cut through the air. These men broke into my home. They claim to be HOA police. There is no HOA here. My grandson defended me. The real cops moved in fast. They ripped the badges off the vests. Plastic. Fake. The charges started piling up like bricks. Impersonating law enforcement, criminal trespass, aggravated assault. The men tried excuses. We were just collecting fees. We thought this was legal. But neighbors stepped forward shouting, "They scammed me last month. They took money from my aunt." Turns out these fakes have been running cons across the county, targeting elderly homeowners, demanding fake fines, threatening enforcement. But they picked the wrong porch this time. The news spread fast. Within days, the DA announced charges not only against the 2 men, but a whole network of fraudsters connected to them. Local news called it the fake HOA sting. Reporters crowded Grandma's porch with cameras. "What happened?" they asked. She just sipped her tea and said, "I told them there is no HOA here." Marcus stood beside her, quiet but unshakable, the bruises on his knuckles still fresh. The neighborhood changed after that. No more fear, no more scams, just a quiet street where everyone looked out for each other, especially for Grandma. The fake HOA cops thought they could terrorize an old woman. Instead, they got fists, broken glass, and handcuffs.